And welcome back. Well, sleep is just as important as diet and exercise when it comes to our health. So the transition to back to school schedule can be a difficult time for kids. Joining us now with some advice on forming a healthy sleep routine is pediatrician and mom, Dr. Tanya Altmann. Good morning to you, doctor.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited to partner with Natrol on this child back to school health and sleep campaign.
Well, I think it's interesting that you say, it's back to school. We're talking about shifting schedules and time frames, and that's tough for a lot of parents to get their kids into a new routine. So what do you suggest when there's this big shift in schedule?
So you're right. During the summer, kids often stay up later running around the neighborhood playing, or maybe they're even, playing a few too many video games. But now that school's either back in session or about to start, it's time to get that bedtime earlier. Kids really need a full 10 hours of sleep at night to help their brain focus and concentrate and learn during the school day. So I usually ask the families in my office, what time do you have to get up in the morning? And then we go back 10 hours, and that really is the appropriate bedtime for your kids. So how do you get them to go to sleep on time? Well, the first thing is to make sure they're outdoors, running around, getting plenty of exercise during the day. And then at night, at least an hour before bedtime, all those electronics need to be shut off and taken out of their bedroom. Otherwise, it can really interfere with sleep. Then the bedtime routine starts, and usually it's about 45 minutes. It can start with a shower and a bath, brushing teeth, talking to your kids about what they enjoyed that day, maybe what some, worries or concerns are about the day ahead. If it's a little one, you may want to read them a story. Older kids will like to read on their own. And then hugs and kisses and lights out. Good night. It's bedtime.
I love it. And I think all of that is ideal, but there's going to be a lot of parents who are like, I do all of that and it still does not work. So what happens then?
So that's often when I recommend bringing in something like a child melatonin. That's why I like Natrol. It's a low dose, safe and effective melatonin for children. And you can use it for a few nights to a week at the beginning of the school year, or if you're traveling or whenever your child's schedule, gets off track, and it often just gives them that gentle nudge to get back to sleep. The other thing that's really important is when kids go to sleep, make sure that the house is quiet and cool. So if you I have a 4-year-old, if I put him to sleep and he hears us watching TV or talking, he's gonna be like, hey, why are you having a party without me, Mom? I wanna get up too. So everybody in the house needs to kind of get back into that bedtime routine and at least pretend that they're going to sleep as well.
It's true. It helps, right? I also think darkness helps. But melatonin, I think, is great. I actually take melatonin gummies myself. But how does it work? Because a lot of parents will say, well, I want to make sure I know what's exactly happening if I give my child melatonin.
And that's a great question. So melatonin is naturally produced by your brain when it gets dark outside. And that's what signals your brain it's time to go to sleep, and you get, drowsy and tired and ready to fall asleep. And then it stays in production throughout the night. And then when the sun comes up in the morning, your brain stops producing melatonin. And that's how you know, hey, it's time to wake up. And that's often why with older kids, it's hard to get them to take a nap, during the day as well. So as you mentioned, darkness is really important for sleep. And then that regular bedtime routine at the same time every night is one thing that I often help parents work on, so that way their kids can get into that great routine before school starts to make sure they get enough sleep for the school year.
Love it. Are there any last tips that you want to leave parents with? I know it's a struggle when the school year begins.
Well, in addition to good sleep, don't forget about nutrition, exercise, and if you have questions, talk to your own pediatrician. That's what we're here for. We're not only here for colds and ear infections, but we want to make sure your kids are sleeping well and succeeding in school. And for more information on healthy sleep tips or melatonin, visit natrol.com.
Thanks so much, doctor. I love that. I think those are great ideas for parents and caregivers.
Thank you.
Absolutely.